cross over to this side. Chrono Dragon, huh? How did it get here? Chrono Jet Dragon? Are G units back too? Special Series Stride Deck Set Chrono Jet. Bushiroad.
Weiss Schwarz. A romantic battle of the brains unfolds again on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Booster Pack Kaguya-sama Love is War. Now on sale. Bushiroad.
Cardfight Vanguard. The Glitters have obtained great strength in response to each of their feelings. These heroes are back too. Booster Pack Minerva Rising. Bushiroad.
Good morning and welcome everyone to BRO 2023. This is day 2 for the AO region. You might be thinking it's still day 1 if you just finished watching NA, but we are back here in the AO region for V Premium. And of course, we are your 3 casters for the day. Myself, Different Fight, joined together by Kai and the captain. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. It's a new day, but again, if you've been watching for 24 hours, might be the same day. The day doesn't end until you go to sleep. So yeah, just keep on chugging. Might have a break between all the top 8s because top 8 does go faster than Swiss, but it should be some very, very intense games. Captain, what do you think?
Yeah, you're right. Actually, we're gonna see some fascinating games. I mean, the first day of Swiss. Was like so exciting, and across all the regions too as well. There have been some exciting games too as well. I tuned into the EU side after the AO side and just seeing some great games being casted there too as well. So I don't see how today won't be any different. So we're gonna see some exciting games today. Right there, the fight.
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be a very fun time, and I'm excited to see how things will be going down throughout the day as well. But of course, we have a lot of fun action for you today, and let's take a look at the format real quick as well as we get into the broadcast, because of course, yesterday you guys watched the Swiss Best of 1, in which we had 7 rounds, and then the top 8 players of that tournament were the ones to rise up into the top 8, which will be playing out today for our beautiful grand prizes. But Captain, I think we also have, some upcoming events for those of you that missed V Premium.
Yes, especially also. The first week for Bushiroad Rumble Online is happening right here, right now, with V Premium. Yesterday was, of course, the Swiss rounds, and today is the top 8 right here, right now. But then we also have the week 2 as well, which is actually happening in. We have week 2 for Weiss Schwarz. That's happening in May, May 19th, May 20th, as well as May 21st too, as well on day 2 for the top 8 cut over there as well. And then, of course, week 3 we're jumping back to Vanguard as well. This time in the standard format, all the way in August 26, August 27 for the top cut too as well. And of course, the last but not least is Premium on November 18th and November 19th for the top cut there too as well. That is the schedule for Bushiroad Rumble Online spread across the year, which is actually really, really good. But for today, what are the prizes are we gonna be getting, Kai? Can you tell us?
So we have some very cool Chrono Jet themed prizes. 4th place will only be getting the certificate, but then for the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place, all of them are getting at least 1 Chrono Jet from V, while 2nd will be getting 2, and then 1st place will be getting 4 of them. So a nice play set, as well as everyone getting the certificate, and there'll be some booster boxes as well for the top 3 plays. So it should be very, very nice just to see who makes it and gets that nice play set of Chrono Jets. And with that, I think we should be... what do you guys think of the top 8? We saw a bit of the top 8 yesterday for AO. Were you guys able to see what the top 8s were for the other... Here we got the graphics, see the brackets, right? So here we have a Sackmaster from the United States facing Blaster 56. And then we've got Art versus King Udon. And then Anthony Sean Chua versus Cardfight 159. And then we got Techno Eagle versus Losif. So yes, I think yesterday we did say that there were a lot of Steam Maidens in our top cuts. But we got the non-Steam Maidens. We got the One Night Rose, Luwad, and I think it was Royal Paladins. Yes.
Yes, indeed. It's also we have it, despite five Steam Maiden decks that has top tier today. It's good to see some variety, even in our top 8 cut too as well. Am I right, Chris?
Yes, absolutely. It is a good time to see, and I think also in the EU top 8 is one that I could catch. I think they had like 4 Steam Maidens and a bunch of different one-ups, like things like Ghosties as well coming out on top, which is pretty exciting. It's a deck that I think people are quite surprised to see, just like we have Night Rose here in AO as well. And so it's going to be a fun time, but I think we can start getting into the decks of the players themselves and talk a little bit about some of the records of these players getting into the games as well. So I'm pretty excited to take a look at everyone and see what kind of lists are they running. So first things first, we're gonna have Sackmaster running Steam Maidens. So Sackmaster, of course, is one of our 5 Steam Maiden players here in the tournament, and basically chose the tried and tested, chose the game that is played. The format that is played with the best deck in the format, basically by a lot of these players, and decided to just stick with what's consistent. We see the Crit Sentinel being run here as well, which you see most players I think kind of go and commit more on the draw PGs, but I guess that's the kind of main variation here that I'm seeing.
Yeah. The main changes in the Gear Chronicle, the Steam Maiden list, at least, is in the beginning they were a lot more focused on draws, even running up to 8 draws, but ever since the Worlds format, more people have been going towards criticals. So we've been seeing a rise in a lot of this critical sentinels. Just so, if you're playing a Steam Maiden mirror, right? Let's be real. You can draw your pieces, or you could just crit them out of the game, right? So that comes in very handy. Also, just the 1-card guard from the Crit Sentinel is actually very, very strong. We don't have to worry about Amusement's Colossus anymore. So just being up to a 30k shield, one of those bigger multi-attacks, will just conserve a lot of hand and just kind of sort yourself out, right? Because you don't have a card problem. You actually don't have many problems at all. So you don't need to have those extra draws of time. You just need to get that Enterana and start just going through the deck and just getting some key pieces, just the extra crit sense, just that extra value, that makes the whole thing work slightly better.
I agree with that sentiment too as well. So, and of course, Sackmaster has been undefeated in our Swiss rounds. Yesterday as well, he went 7-0, guys. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely working out for him. So this tournament weekend so far. So yeah, but let's take a look. Yeah, sorry.
Actually, one thing that I noticed is there was the 4 Nabus there. Which seems like a very... Normally, Nabu is like the extra cards you put in, but this one had 4. So you're able to get some more kind of extra attacks in. Seems pretty good. But we got the Dual Knights. We did see Blaster 56 do pretty well on stream with the Dual Knights, just to be able to go off and just wombo combo. What do you think about Dual Knights in this current meta, guys?
I mean, I think the deck is pretty potent. Like, it saw a lot of players were already hyping it up back during the World season as well, but we saw that it was kind of just a little bit short compared to what the top meta really was. And of course, for Blaster, I mean, he had a pretty good run. He was the only X2 that made it into top cut, so we're gonna have to see for him to not drop a game today in order to continue to win through. But Blaster is not unfamiliar to the top tables, because in Indonesia managed to come 3rd place in V Premium in the last Springfest last year. So actually pretty familiar with the V Premium format. It has changed a bit since that time, but we can see that he's adapted very well and stayed true to a deck that fits his name, let's say, as well.
Nice. It fits his name indeed as well. So yeah, that is as you mentioned, we have seen this just yesterday. With Blasters just showing phenomenally. So like how do you play a Joe Knight deck? So, and yeah, it was on show and display. We get to see more later.
Okay. It's nice, yeah. Heavy crit count as well. And then we have Art next with the Luard list. I think this one has a slight heavier focus on the Ildoners. I know a lot of players will be running like 3 Ildona, but with this list also has slightly less grade 2s. So just kind of going in, like if I get my grade 2s, I win. If I don't, well, it's kind of it. But maxing out on those Ildoners just for that early game, extra searches just seems very, very nice. Lua just a true and tested deck as well. Gets a lot of force markers, able to really compete with Steam Maidens later on. Sure, Steam Maidens get a lot of power and multi-attacks, but you can't compare to Luard's power. Once it gets those force markers really rolling, even late game Steam Maiden with the extra Uluru power, defensive power, and things like that, you still need PGs and all that to be able to kind of compete. So very, very still, I still think it's a very potent pick. What do you all think?
Well, for me, I do agree with you with Ildona really adding a lot of value to the Luwad deck as well. So I've skimmed through the deck. I've read as much as I can about it, and I can just see that one more combo that you mentioned. So it's gonna be very, very powerful once the ball gets rolling.
That is right. I mean, Luard is definitely a very potent deck, but let's take a look at the opposing side. It's going to be King Udon on Steam Maidens, which of course, again, is an expected list to see here. King Udon also has some achievements from the previous couple of years as well. Managed to come third place in Springfest Australia last year, and also in the Premium BRO of 2021, managed to come top 8 in the NLLA region. So we have some good achievements here. Trying to already added another one basically with the top 8 today, and we'll see if they can keep adding more to that and push it onto a first place finish with the tried and tested, arguably best deck, that is Steam Maidens. And we do see here, we talked about like the addition of crits earlier, as Kai said, but here we actually see the kind of like pushing for more draws, kind of like, I guess, closer to a worlds list, some might say.
King Udon, I actually know him. He's surprisingly, like, seeing his name making top 8 is very nice, but he does running some very interesting tech in the Chrono Jet engine as well, on top of the Steam Maiden. So
that is true. That is true.
That is something I'm probably gonna ask him. It's like, what's the secret idea? But maybe we can see it if he makes it through. Does very well. Might be able to see one of his games.
Yep.
But yeah, just interesting seeing that Chrono Jet tech with the Time Leaper, and just sacrificing on some of the re-innovates, which personally I think re-innovate is just a great card in the set. But yeah, very interesting list, I'd say. Everyone trying to niche out, like get that little extra bit out of their Steam main decks, and everyone going different directions. It's something I like to see.
Certainly one of the more standout Steam decks that we have here in the top 8 today as well. Yeah, but that's King Udon. Do let me know his thought process about that Chrono Jet. I would like to know myself. But here we move on to Anthony Sean Chua, who's actually playing with Steam Maidens again. A little bit more traditional in terms of the build over here, but he's not going with the crit sentinels, going full on with the draw sentinels instead as well. Yeah, there is
I think the secret tech here is actually just that flex with the LL. Is that BCS LL, right? Instead of
BCS, Springfest, one of the two.
Yeah, it's a winner's promo. That's what counts, right? So instead of going for anything, different, just go for the flex, right? Intimidate your opponents, so they play worse. So,
I mean, when you are the champion of BCS Manila for V Premium, so you definitely want to have that flex as well. So, but yeah, he's also competed. He's also managed to reach top 8 last year in BCS Worlds, and also 2019 in Premium BCS Worlds as well.
Very seasoned player, right?
Hot off the world's press, just been a couple months, managed to make that top 8 finish. Love to see it. And of course, a well-established player. So let's take a look at the other upcoming players here. So we have Cardfighter 159, which of course is running Steam Maidens as well. So a list that we are quite used to seeing, and actually more of a zero player. So I know Cardfighter 159 by name, just because I'm pretty involved with Vanguard Zero, but they actually have been in the finals for the Vanguard Zero both spring and winter circuits of 2021, and they were second place of the winter circuit qualifiers. So Cardfighter 159 has been around in Zero for quite a lot, and this is actually their first ever TCG top. So that's actually huge. I love seeing Zero players, being able to make that transition into the TCG, and it's just awesome to see, seeing the success as well.
Yeah, and Cardfighter 159 also with some sneaky techs as well with the Anglisa. Normally you see this in Premium, lets you do a little stride up, but then you are forced to go down to grade 2. But here I think it's used to generate extra force markers, so in the mirror you do get a few more. But yeah, I think again another interesting tech to see. Will be interesting to see how he does use it in the game, right? Any other thoughts, Captain?
None that I can, none that hasn't been said yet already by you guys. So, it is a very viable deck that we have seen yesterday in the Swiss rounds as well, proving its strength in its, in his matchup so yesterday. So yeah, we're gonna see more.
All right, let's see what's the next one. Techno Eagle with a Night Rose deck, the only Night Rose here in the AO top 8. Doing, again, it's one of those old decks that just does what it does very good, right? Hit big with Skull Dragons, hit fast, and then just hope your opponent does not have enough PGs to guard. And it's an effective strategy. If you get that first turn Navigator, pretty much every deck will not be able to guard your columns very efficiently, and they just lose the game. So
yeah, indeed. So and this is of course Techno Eagle's actually first top 2 as well. So it's nice to know that Techno Eagle sticking with what I believe he loves most in all of the premium right now with his favorite deck, and yeah, just making it the tops. So nothing beats that kind of achievement. So topping with the deck that you love, so a deck that you know back and forth, left to right and whatnot. So it's definitely gonna be a joy to see Techno Eagle just run this Vampire Princess.
Nice.
That is right.
Yep.
So yeah,
last deck.
The last deck is also for Losef as well. Losef is a familiar name in the in the tournament scene, of course. He's having quite a lot of achievements. He was actually last year BSF. He made it to third place in V Premium and second place in BCS as well. All in the Philippines and Manila. First place in Premium in the same event too as well. And he has been very, very active as the past couple years. 2019 also as well, made it to first in V Premium in the Philippines for 2019, V Premium 2 as well, and of course BSF 2019 also Premium. He made it a champion too as well, and he has been quoted as saying, "I'm just a guy who likes playing card games."
Filipinos really showing up this tournament. Any words, Chris?
I mean, it's awesome to see a very seasoned veteran player versus Techno Eagle, having his first top. I think it's a very fitting match to take a look as our feature match for this top 8 as well. So I think it's time we get into it and see what the game is going to look like. I'm excited to just see, how Night Rose can compete, right? I mean, Kai, you were telling me yesterday you played in the in the EU region, right? For the BRO as well, and you said you ran into some Night Roses that were a little bit tricky.
I think he top 8'd. Yeah, it was
Yeah?
a ghosty deck with one Night Rose, and then he just steamrolled me with the Skull Dragon. So,
Oh
Damn.
man.
Well, let's see how it's gonna go for Losef against Techno Eagle. Let's get into it.
Indeed.
like Losef should be going first because I think Techno Eagle is on the Grand Blue side. So might have to swap that around. Losef going first is very, very good for him, just because he'll be able to do his combo plays first. And it looks like a pretty decent start for Losef at least. But we'll see what Techno Eagle can do.
Losef right now.
Get the first turn Navigator, the most important play, I think.
Yes.
But that committing 2 cards that early is a bit scary, because it does allow you to it just indicates to your opponent that your hand is small, so you are very bullyable. But at the same time as well, since it's an open deck format, Techno Eagle can see that Losef only runs 1 Heal Guardian, so I could probably put on some aggression, and it's that's why it's also very important for Losef going first here, because he's able to kind of ride up and get the extra base power, so it makes it very hard for non-force clans to put on aggression in this manner.
Yeah, you're right on that as well. So as we can see, Losef right now, just calling out, revealing the Uluru as well, and fetch out the Ilul there as well. So he's also getting everything set up. So as I mentioned yesterday, when it comes to games like this, so the first turns are just as important as the last turns of this game as well. That setup turn is super crucial. So in just being able to see just how the deck is going to go. Critical trigger right there, so getting in that early aggression as you mentioned. So you're not wrong when you mention that he has a low heal guardian count also. So Losef does know that it is open deck, and he could opt to rush so once he immediately goes to Ilu.
Yeah, and this is why it's so important going first for Losif, able to stay on the 10k versus Techno Eagle's 9k. The critical coming out for Losif was actually very, very huge, simply because, you know, now you have less need to, you don't have to attack as much to hit into 6. It can be quite deciding in a way, just how many crits come out early, but we see Techno Eagle responding with a lot of plays. Columbard, and then we have the Ghost Ship, so we have a nice setup going there. Now Green Shade coming out to get some, to mill some cards and get some cards. We don't see any Navigators though, so a bit slow. We have the Ghosties coming out just for the grade 3 search, and does he hit? Gets a heal guard.
He has a heal guard.
Very, very nice. Gonna set himself up, knowing that he has to, you know, deal with a first turn a Steam Maiden attack. At least this allows Techno Eagle some wiggle room to be able to, you know, put that 10k on the Vanguard circle, and then maybe just survive the next turn better.
Yes, absolutely. So managing to find the pieces and, you know, just be able to probably just give the 1 CB here and potentially pass. We're gonna have to see. Ooh, gets the heal defensive. Interesting.
The Ghost Ship, I think this doesn't. Oh, it does hit still? It's
yes,
24.
Yes. So you should be able to hit it, no problem. You know, with its plus 15k, of course it retires itself, but the retire is the more important part. You know, instead of the power over here.
Yeah, and getting the draw off too. But now we have the Steam Maiden turn. We have the Gear Cat. One thing that has been going in Techno Eagle's favor, although, you know, Techno didn't see the Navigator, Elusive hasn't seen an Enterana until now.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah, getting slightly less pluses, but, you know, now able to fish one out from the Gear Cats. So, you know, the Enterana plays have begun, and we're going to just see what is the last slot for the Ilul Steam Maiden player. What is going to be put in that force marker? The Gear Cat still going off first as well, and yeah.
Yep, just trying to find something. Although we won't be able to see what. Oh no, not yet. They haven't picked it out.
Getting another Enterana.
Oh, that's big.
You can just straight put that down and, you know, get some pluses. Go for a farm turn. Unless Elul wants to start pushing some big multi-attacks. Actually,
that bind zone is looking a little bit of a question mark right now, though.
Yeah, it's not good.
There's not enough steam in that bind zone just yet. So those kind of maybe just trying to you know, get everything set up right now. He wants to go hard, but I think he might not be able to, considering what's in his bind currently right now. This might not be as you know, might not be as impactful as Nosef would hope to be.
Yeah, but, you know, 2 Enteranas is already pretty good. You might say it's not an insane turn, but, you know, when a card that just straight up gives you more cards is always good, right? It's just always good. This is one of the key pieces in the Steam Main deck that just makes the whole thing work. Able to get, well, you get to choose between the Karunta.
That's pretty big.
I think choosing the Karunta, you can put the Idol in the bind zone, and that already fulfills one of your conditions.
That's true, yeah. So let's see.
There it is.
Looks like it's going to be that selection here. So putting the Idol, as you said, into the bind zone. The grade 1 has been set up. Pretty good start.
Karunta basically turns any card into whatever you want, because you can bottom deck and then get a card back.
Yes, then, exactly. So
it could just become more Enteranas, you know.
That is true. I mean, that's the optimal case scenario. We're having a little bit of issues here, just as we load up Losef here.
Yep.
So give us a moment just to see what the issue is and continue smoothly. But I'm also curious, you know, for Techno Eagle here, it's going to be a interesting turn going forward, because it is more of a Night Rose heavy list. As we said earlier, it's not so much of the ghosty focus that we see oftentimes, and, you know, the deck is capable of farming a lot. It looks like we are back to being just fine here. So quick hand check just to make sure everything is fine. And we were in the battle phase, so there's going to be a heal guard coming out with the extra plus 10k. So looks like it's going to be double blank as well. so it's gonna be pretty easy to guard this final attack if necessary. So not much of a rush of attacks onto that extra heal guard power.
And then this final attack still is gonna ask for shield, because this is hitting around 31. So the Columbard right now is 19. We need 15k shield still, and then get the +1 from the Enterana again. So, ooh, a PG.
All right, drops the PG. Getting the bone into the drop zone is pretty big, though. That's gonna be able to start calling out things from the drop zone relatively quickly and setting up towards that powerful Skull Dragon win con. But first, we're gonna resolve Enterana.
I think here you just take the critical trigger, because the gear can is relatively useless here. And then from there on, you know, although the bind zone is not great, it is what it is, right? Sometimes it's just how it is. You know, you look at your Enteranas, they're not doing the best. Sometimes they just keep on going, and they get you all the cards you need. But you just have to pick two, like the best card out of the two. And I think Luciv is having some issues with the internet connection here, so we'll be right back again.
Yep.
The judges will be sorting that out. But here, like in this position, Techno Eagles handled this all right, though his hand size is not that strong. I feel like there's if Techno it's very hard for Techno Eagle to kill Luciv here from 1 damage. The problem is that Techno's hand size, you know, is not great. So after his turn, Luciv can just maximize the power of Steam Maiden and then just probably 2 to 6. The multi attack is just so good from Steam Maiden. So yeah, if that happens, I think Techno might be in a bit of a trouble.
That is true, but for now the trouble is seeming to be on Luciv's side. We got to make sure it doesn't get 2 to 6 by his internet connection first.
Yeah, that's sometimes the problems, right? You know, internet very fickle. Always how do you say it? The worst thing happens at all the worst times it could happen, right? So
Yep. Tell you from experience. It's always like that. You know, you'll be like, everything will be fine. The judge.
Nope, everything will be fine.
We're talking about technical issues.
Yes, we got you. You cut out
What?
at the right timing too as well.
Again? Stop. Oh, man. As you can see, it's not just the players, it's everyone involved here today. Everyone has their fair share of issues here and there.
So I think we're actually gonna move streams and watch a different game. So we got a taste of some Night Rose versus Steam. You all, unfortunately, well, not really unfortunately, maybe you're a Gear Chronicle connoisseur. You like Steam. You're gonna have a taste of Steam Maidens in every single matchup. I think the question is just, will you get a double dose of Steam Maidens? But we'll be moving to another game that might actually be the not sure actually. We'll have to find out. It might actually be the double Steam Maiden game.
Yes. I believe it is a double Steam Maiden game that we're gonna be moving to see right here. So
I hope everyone likes Steam Maidens. You know, Steam Maidens very popular in Premium as well as in V Premium.
Yep.
Maybe Shun in Standard. It's a different kind. It's not really a Steam. It's like a Chrono
Steam
Standard.
Maiden. It's more like Steam and Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ilul and Friends.
There could be, you know, it's dark states, right? You know, we already see some Steam, you know, maidens, scholars, scalers.
Yep.
Anything Steam related. Yeah, I think we're jumping into this next table, and we got Cardfighter 159 versus Anthony Chua. And we have this with the nice bind zone. Actually, it looks like Cardfighter 159's bind zone is not that great, which is
it's looking pretty good on Sean Chua's side. We see like the Worlds playmat as well. And then, man, for Cardfighter, they got to start giving out like special playmats to the players that make it to the Zero finals for English too. I mean, You gotta. Oh, we even see the world's force marker as well. Damn, all right.
Ooh, the flex.
Showing off in the
Flex,
full
man.
power.
Full power Steam Maiden involves a full powered. How do you say it? You know, Matt and the ALOL, all that. So
Yep.
Yep.
This is the efforts amassed throughout the season are seen in one player's table. It's very, very beautiful. But it looks like we are currently in the, I want to say the main phase of Cardfighter is what this looks like to me.
I believe so as well. So yeah, we can see
the judges to give them the go ahead.
Yep. So we see the Elo just on top of the Vanguard. Sorry, the Elo. Sorry, the Elo with the I.
ILOL.
Ilo. Thank you.
Yeah, ILOL.
Ilo. Thank you for that. I've always had a hard time with Elo and Ilo too as well. So considering that you can pronounce them the same way.
Yeah. The only lol we don't have is OLOL, I think, because I think Uluru should be the Ulul.
Yeah, I think Uluru should be the Ulu as well.
Yeah. So we're just waiting for the OLOL to make Steam Maidens even more powerful.
That's true. Chat spam lol to make Steam Maidens.
Yeah, chat
spam OLOL.
Yeah, chat spam lol.
OLOL.
I'm surprised we don't have like a Steam Maiden lol emoji. That's something that a sub streamer should definitely get working towards.
Could be a line stamp, you know. I think
It could be a line stamp. It could-
Yeah.
Gotta get to work, man.
Gotta get it work indeed. So okay, I think
Alright, so it looks like the judges have given the players the permission to go ahead. So I
Alright.
think Cardfighter is in the midst of his main phase here, just trying to continue on with one of the effects. Trying to see what it is. I'm assuming it's. Are we mid battle maybe? And this was the first attack? I guess we'll see. Okay, card being picked up. We're gonna see. This might have been a search of some sort. Maybe it was off of the
gear cat, I think.
the cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
and then calling down the ILOL, it seems.
Yep. So
Then we have. There's only one CB open though, so this is gonna be unfortunately not a great turn if we're going to the battle phase.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit restricted.
we are going battle phase with Ilo going in for that first attack right there. Based on what we see in the bind right there, you know, with Tanara as well as, well, I'm not able to read the name from this far away. But yeah, it's assumedly that Ilo will just jump into Entanara, you know, and then just get the and then just try to get the ball rolling. So it's important to get that ball rolling no matter what state of the board you are at.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the play. Ilo into Enterana and then double farm. And I think that's as good as it gets. Oh, but is that an ALO at the bottom? Or
No.
That's the
is it a Caliber?
Calibum.
That's a Calibum indeed, and that is actually a pretty interesting card because it does theoretically bot deck something, and then you get to either add something back to your hand from your drop or countercharge one and draw. So this could theoretically lead to more attacks through the CC. So that's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting tech, I'd have to say.
It is a one-of as well.
I think I saw some lists run the Calibum. So it could be just one of those techs that have been creeping into that Steam Maiden meta, you know.
Yeah, just any ways to differentiate yourself, to stand out from the rest of the pack, so to speak. You know, and Cardfighter here is showing that it's worthwhile to stand out. So by taking in cards like Calibum, that does provide something different, and you know, it can actually do a little bit more than what conventional Steam Maidens can do. So you know, the bot deck, as you mentioned, would be crucial here. But I keep asking myself, what would be worthwhile to bot deck? Because I look at Sean's board right now, and I'm like, yeah.
So you can choose. You can basically choose any players regard. So you can technically bot deck like a Gear Cat to get like an Uru if you're missing that, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and then because you put grade 1 or less back, you get to draw a card and countercharge one, so it becomes free. So I guess that's like a way to kind of get you out of bad spaces.
But yeah, like if you target the Gear Cat, then you would have to then you'd have to just draw and countercharge. And if you choose a grade 2 or greater, then you get to recur something from drop. That is a grade lower than the thing. So
yeah.
So if you spin like, let's say the Antarana, then you get the grade 1 from drop. But
from drop, my bad, yes.
Yeah. So you don't get to pick up grade 0, sadly, but even then we see a pretty strong drive check here from Cardfighter. I mean, pretty sure that was a heal.
A heal and a crit that he got as well.
So going down to 2 damage as well. Pretty good for Cardfighter here.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're facing against a Steam main deck that is pretty set up, you know. You're giving damage, so that means your opponent is going to be able to full combo you next turn. Although you're on low damage, right? It's still pretty devastating.
That is true.
And so we're going to see the Calvin play here.
Let's see what it's going to target here. It is going to target the Gear Cat, so we're going to get to draw and countercharge 1. All right, so that's going to be it for the turn. Basically, just a little bit of removal, which I guess can actually...
It's pretty important. Gear Cats are the main thing that make the deck really, you know, crazy scary as well. Like, sure, you have the Enteranas that get you cards, but they search the Gear Cat, which can, one, get you another card, but also they just stick there and like boosts and gives you like a bunch of power for like no reason at all. So like this Gear Cat is boosting for 8k, but then you got 8 cards in the bind zone right now. That's a 16k boost. So the longer they stick there, the more annoying it becomes. If you're able to bottom deck them and kind of get rid of them, force your opponents to kind of use the Enteranas and all that to call them back out, it means they're not using that counterblast for anything that extends attacks pretty much. So kind of an interesting play. We see it in like premium a lot as well, where a lot of the players run cards to target Gear Cats and like remove them. But we're gonna see a push from Sean here. Not a full power push, because again, had to use 1 CB for the Enterana to call out a Gear Cat, but that does, you know, get you cards. So, you know, it's not a bad trade, but just, you know, slightly lower amount of attacks than you normally have.
I think Sean right now is only just missing a Elo right now, so he will go up to Elo for sure. But of course, so after Elo's attack, he can actually go into he can actually go into possibly another grade 3 from there. So, but yeah, I mean, just now building up more of the bind zone, getting more power for that Gear Cat, and Elo especially, so she does benefit by getting 1k for every card in the bind zone.
And Anabu was put into the bind zone, so that's actually a pretty good target to go into if you're for the ILOL. But going for the Enterana, like 1 Enterana, yeah, get more pluses. Pluses are good.
Only 1 soul left as well, so that's going to be perfect to use on the Enterana here.
Just get some extra pluses to survive the attacks.
Ooh, blank. Gonna be the 3rd damage here into a draw PG for Cardfighter. That's pretty good. You get that extra card draw on top of the defensive. It's gonna be nice. And there's still a swing left to take care of with a double force marker.
And yeah, and what an Enterana attack. I think they're just asking how much bind zone.
Or what specifically
is in the bind zone, yeah.
Yeah. It's not great still, unfortunately. And they need to find out what's the drop zone as well that can go into the bind zone.
Yep.
All the pieces are pretty much in the drop zone though.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a bit rough, right? So your Eel can get like the Uru out.
Yeah, just checking all the parts, like, okay, what's a steam mid and what isn't.
Yep.
Shanshu, of course, you know, a veteran to the scene, knows exactly what resources to ask for and what to see, what to confirm. How far can you set up? How far can you combo me down? How far can you push this game next turn? Because, of course, both players, you know, for them, this is win. You have a chance at the prize card, lose, your journey ends here. So this is a do or die match. It really is the top 8 where it's like, all right, you made day 2, but if you want to have more than just bragging rights, you're going to have to win your first match of day 2 as well. And for both players, they are not going to be the ones to give up. They are the ones that want to stand on that final stage. And right now, Sean is just making sure that this final attack does not cost him the game.
Yep. And you have to just kind of measure how many attacks you can, do, right? If you, or how much counterblast your opponent needs to do to make those attacks. If you give them, so he's attacking now, he goes, all right, you don't look that set up. I could, with the amount of cards I have in my hand, I could probably live through your turn. And then if I put you on 4, then after that I have a way easier time of just ending the game. But looks like Cardfighter doesn't want that to happen, and this is where the Uluru comes out and binds the last one of the most important pieces in that chain, the steamated chain. And I guess it's one of the things that maybe Sean might be wondering is like, okay, if I attack here, I give Cardfighter the option to do something like this and make his turn slightly better. It's about those kind of small pieces, that makes everything. If you attack, I get a card, but I might give Cardfighter the option of playing that right, which then makes his chain work. Do I risk that? Is that a risk I'm willing to take? Those kind of thoughts you have to have.
These are the only kinds of thoughts that you would expect in a high level placing here, like top 8 as well. So Sean, of course, no stranger to the level of play that is required, so to compete at this level as well. So I'm pretty certain that any move that he does, right, he knows what is the possible outcomes coming of it. So he knows Uluru might come out and bind the Alu as well. And he knows that the Alu, which is why he asked for what's in the drop zone, what's teammates are in the drop zone, because Alu, as you mentioned, is the key over here that allows Cardfighter to really get his bind zone up to speed right now. So Sean's already there for the most sense right now, but now it's Cardfighter's turn to get it up there. So with his turn being here right now, he's going to.
Alright, gonna use that final soul here on the Kurunta. And this is also another one-of in his list, so Cardfighter definitely plays a lot of one-ofs in this list too, like the one-of Heelguard, the one-of Kalbum, the one-of Kurunta, the one-of Reinnovate Wing as well. We usually see 2 copies.
And calling out Nabu, which is actually really, really good. So because of the at the end of the battle, the attack, so it frees up that circle. It frees up the circle to actually get a bind. Yes, exactly as well.
It feels like Cardfighter might be playing this a bit slower, maybe. Just slowly giving your opponent one damage before. I would assume at some point then he'll push and really go in. Double. So the Nabu goes on top of the Enterana, and looks like the Corinta is staying.
Yep, I mean, that column is already hitting good numbers with the Gear Cat's help. Don't necessarily need the Force Marker to overdo it. It looks like the Uluru will be put into the... will be called out there over the Kurunta.
That seems like a much better field setup. Nabu going to be very annoying and do that poke. And there should be an idol in the bind zone, so you can go 0.
Yeah, from earlier along, we see this as a second or first card of the bind zone, I think.
Yep.
So we're gonna have a swing here. Will go in? Only 1 force marker though, it seems, which is gonna lower the power output of this push quite a lot. While we look at Sean having like 2 force markers here.
Yeah, he's got 2 force markers on that side where Antanara is. So yeah, this will lack quite a bit of power, but just enough to be able to poke, as a different fight mentioned. So just to poke out cards and poke out damage from Sean.
18k going in now. Easy 10k shield.
Alright, looks like Sean is already debating, do we try to hit the defensive here, or are we trying to save that damage check for a later attack?
Methodical.
10k shield. I guess one thing you have to notice is 2 Ulurus are kind of gone from Sean's side. So
going for Calibum instead of going for Alu, which is interesting.
Is it just gonna bottom deck the the dog and go for a.
Go
He's
for
trying
that.
to like strip down resources. Like this Kadum was doing a lot of work this game.
Yeah.
We see first check PG. That's pretty good into the draw as well. So that's gonna help. Especially
putting it on
with
the
the
Nabu.
garbage shift.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 1 damage
So-
comes.
Another defensive trigger on Sean's side, also getting a drop PG2 as well. So the power even out for both Nabu currently right now. Yeah, this is developing quite meticulously. So both players just trying to make sure, that they don't misstep over here.
Yeah, and this.
So there should be a 34 if I'm not mistaken. From the gear cat getting another plus.
I think plus 6, I think.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus 6. It's really debating on this attack.
Antanara or Ilu? Antanara or Ilu?
You could take it like, can he attack into the Enterana and then bottom deck the Elo? Yeah?
Yeah, I think that might be the play here. So
Then just, look, there's like an empty board,
yep.
And then you get that draw and the counter charge. Wow, look at that. And
Yep.
then the Nabu swing.
Yep. And of course, Sean can comfortably take this as well, but he honestly doesn't need to. Look at his hand size, looking that he will survive this turn. So I think, just making sure he's got to fill up the board again. So
That's the
maybe,
issue, yeah.
That's the issue right there. So maybe going up to 5 might be viable here. But of course, he can choose to guard it off if he's got enough guards to as well. And anything that helps with adding to the bind zone also would just help him immensely.
Yeah, all right.
We look at Cardfight's play. It's just been kind of slowly creeping, do the small damage, but making sure opponent has no resources. And I think Sean's just in a really weird situation because he can take it, but then the next turn up for Cardfighter will be, your next turn will be the last turn basically because you have to
100%.
build the board, and then do an attack. But
Your hand is not exactly tremendously huge either here for Cardfighter, so this is a bit of a gamble, but managed to, get rid of the entire field with a third force marker comes down for Sean's side. The Gear Cat comes out, gonna check the top 3 for a target, does not find one. Ooh. That's pretty big, although this Gear Cat is gonna be huge. You managed to take out the back row, re-innovate wing off the top. That is actually massive. Being able to check the top cards here to try and find more targets for the board while also making this Gear Cat swing for insane numbers. Oh, but the targets are not looking too hot. Calls the PG and the Gear Cat off the top. Not the Gear Cat, the Gear Dog rather. All right, so I think this is a plus 12 on the Gear Cat, plus 13 now. Hold up,
Yep.
1, 3,
Yeah, that's a
6,
lot.
9, 12. Yeah, 13 cards in bind zone right now. And this is going to be a huge swing to open counterblast. This is going to be a big turn for Cardfighter to survive. Going to need to see some defensives if you want to have a chance at living for another turn.
And the beauty of the Steam main deck is like, sure, your hand was nothing, right? But as long as you have all the pieces in your bind zone, you're pretty much good to go. Just with the L, you make.
Oh, the defensive.
trigger.
That's going to be big. That will help a little bit for Cardfighter to survive this onslaught of attacks.
Yep.
Yeah, but Sean nearly has a full combo, especially hitting that ALO on the other side will at least turn, the 3 into a massive attack on the force.
Exactly, overcalling the force, being able to continuously swing, and she's not swinging for low numbers either. I mean, the Gear Cut is basically, effectively has a force on itself too. Another defensive, pushing Cardfighter to 33. This might just be what he needed to survive. We saw a couple of blank checks here and there, but managed to find the triggers at the right timing. The deck has been thinned tremendously, and now it's up to Sean Chua. Managed to make top 8 at Worlds, has definitely had a successful 2023 in his competitive career so far, but now is trying to make that final push. Will 2 defensives stop him in his tracks, or
but
will Sean move on to top 4?
This is a massive attack still. This is 49, then plus 8, so 57.
That's 14 cards in. There's 14 cards in the bind zone right now, so that Gear Cat is going to be really big, and then combine that with Elu that will possibly come out after Elu's attack too as well. That's 28k on that one column or so. So you know, Sean really just kicking things into all puns intended the next gear, the high gear right now. So
the funny thing is that Elu side is, I don't think is hitting, because you know 8 plus 14 in the bind zone is 22, but then plus 10 is only 32. So the double defensive actually do quite a decent amount of work. He's probably gonna have to Vanguard swing and then put a trigger on the Elu side. We see an Uluru come out on Cardfighter's side now, which is huge.
It's big to set up.
Yep.
All right, but again, this is still, we're in the early part of the attacks. This is still not time to relax and breathe yet for Cardfighter. An important note is that we are actually in time here, and Sean Chua does have turn 0 of the time procedures, but of course after this, Cardfighter will still have a turn, and if we're going by the 3 turn time rules, then this will be 0 on Sean, 1 on Cardfighter, 2 on Sean, and 3 on Cardfighter, and after that we will compare damage, and the player with less damage will win, and if not, it will continue into sudden death until one player has either healed down or delta damage to make a difference.
And the Vanguard swing here, this is a huge Vanguard swing. You know, 14 times 3 is a lot. And then you plus like the 13 and the 5k booster. Probably want a PG for this, but Cardfighter is going through that hand. There is a PG, but you know, you have to wonder where do you use it. And you're choosing to use it here, discarding the Inglisa. So first check the critical
trigger. Oof,
and the power on the other side. That's correct, because now that side hits. And now the eel swings in. This is a 40, at least a 43, then plus 14. So
43 plus 14 as well. That's 57k coming after Cardfighter right now. So does he have the guards in his hand for this?
Unless we miscounted as well, it could be slightly bigger. Whoa.
Oh, hard guarding for that Elu attack also, but it's not over yet by any sense of the word. That Gear Cat now coming in with a boost over here with Elu coming in with that trigger on it too as well. We are looking at, oof, goodness, my math is failing me and I'm Asian. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a... Just say a lot. It's that easy.
All right, guys, enough shortcuts. We gotta see this last swing come out.
Oh, there we go.
Yellow coming in for the 43. Does not have the shield. Cardfighter's taking it. It is not a heal. The draw PG coming out at the wrong timing, and Anthony Sean Chua will take it in this top 8 matchup. It was close. It was a well-fought battle, but unfortunately, Cardfighter was just slightly off. The slow match definitely was a good approach, trying to just drag it out and remove as many targets from the board. But I think like that Renovate Wing, being able to like rebuild the board and like build up that bind zone and like everything throughout that turn was just so big for Sean that it was, I mean, it felt like everything was there. Even with the double defensive, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, if, like, you can remove the board, but in a way, you always have access to, you know, just a line of attacks for basically nothing, right? And, you know, triple force marker is, I actually think that's the first time I've seen triple force marker. Most of these Steam 80 games end on the double force marker. When you get to the triple, yeah, well, 35k Ulurus, you know, that's not easy to guard. That's a lot of guard.
Yeah, that is a lot of guard indeed as well. So, and as you mentioned, so the fact that it only takes Reinnovate Winged Dragon to change the tempo of the entire matchup from there really goes to show just how important that setup turn is, especially for Steam Maidens as well. So just seeing the amount of cards in the buy zone, 14 at the end of that match. So that 14 plays such a huge part. That setup was done quite early, that even if the board was diminished, you know, by caliber from Cardfighter side, so that won't stop Sean from being able to recover.
Yep. So crazy game.
Really good start. I would say an awesome top 8 to start off the tournament with. Like, while, you know, some people maybe like, oh man, it's a Steam made a mirror match. We really saw like this like clash of concepts, these two different play styles that were really in effect between the two players. And I think that's what made it so interesting and so exciting as well, being able to see these completely different approaches to the exact same deck. So many differences in the deck list as well, that of course, I think you can probably check through the chat command if you want to check them. We didn't get to feature, I mean, we did technically feature the list at the start of the broadcast, but this was a really exciting match and it was really cool to see this top 8 showdown as well. So for Sean, going to be moving on to top 4, and then we will see who is the remaining 3 players that will join Sean in the top 4 soon. But first, I think while we solidify the... Oh, looks like we already have. No solidifying needed. We already have our top 4 ready. So it's going to be Sackmaster, who moves on over Blaster. And then Art managed to beat King...
Managing to beat King Udon too as well. Sean, as we saw earlier, defeating Cardfighter to manage to get into the top 4, and Techno Eagle beating out Losef. So in the earlier match that we saw. So that top 4 is
I think we have a Steam Maiden versus Luan at the top, and they got a Steam Maiden versus Night Rose at the bottom.
So yeah, we're gonna be seeing that variety still. So that I am optimistic to see. So yeah.
Yeah, so interesting. We might be able to see either the Night Rose matchup or the Luan matchup. You know, you can post in the chat which one you guys want to see. And,
yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, the judges might you know consider it. But yeah, should be good. We got some good matchups coming up in top 4. So with that, I think we are we going to a short break? We can stick around, and we'll be right back while we get everything set up for the next game. And yeah, see you then.
Booster Pack Kaguya-sama Love is War. Now on sale. Bushiroad.
Cardfight Vanguard. The Glitters have obtained great strength in response to each of their feelings. These heroes are back too. Booster Pack Minerva Rising. Bushiroad.
Hello, Serene. Thanks for joining me in this Coffee of Bushiroad series. Yeah, I understand you have been with Bushiroad for like a couple of months now, you know, at this time of shooting. Yeah, and you do marketing for Vanguard.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so as you can see, we have prepared a little bit of snacks and coffee, tea, and some drinks for us. Yeah. So before we begin the interview, what would you like? Coffee or tea or water for you?
Tea.
Tea?
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, all right, Serene. So you are the marketer for Vanguard. So maybe you could market to us, you know, just a bit of the kind of work that you do on a day-to-day routine.
Okay, I do. As a marketer, I mainly do the marketing materials. Then, so there's like you manage the stuff that goes on to social media, and then you do newsletters, and then you also liaise with other departments like the design team, the video team, to make sure that you get accompanying materials to put together. I mean, they go together to present to fans.
Okay.
Content. Yeah.
So you actually do have to communicate with a lot of different departments for your job as marketing.
Definitely.
Okay.
Because I mean, as marketing is not, I mean, not everything comes out of the marketer alone. So like say for example, I mean the banners, definitely you need the design team, and then if there are video showcases, then there's a specialized team for that. So I mean, I think that's also one of the good parts of being a marketer, because I mean you get to work with many people while wearing many hats. At the end you get something nice to present to the fans and viewers. I think that's a nice end products that you can get out of marketing.
And then as the marketing in charge for Vanguard, which is one of our best selling titles, do you ever feel like the pressure to perform, you know, as compared to, let's say you were to handle something else? Would you feel like, oh, I need to, you know, step up my game all the time because you're feeling all this pressure?
I would say half on this. It is natural to feel pressured to deliver more results as compared to other products. But at the same time, from a marketing standpoint, you have a lot of data to work with. So it's good that I'm thankful that I have more data and insights to look at and to see, okay, so from there, how can I improve? Or what kind of new things I can present to everyone. Yeah.
Okay, now I understand as marketing, you deal with quite a bit of sensitive information, especially information probably from Japan. But is there anything that you can share with us? That how were you able to use like the data that you mentioned in order to do something like a marketing campaign?
Actually, for data, it can come in a variety. So say for example, you can use like sales statistics to look at how did each past product perform, and then for other initiatives, you can look at so what kind of campaigns have been done before, how did they perform. They are not materials that spoon feed you answers, but it is something good for you to infer from and work something from there. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess as marketing, you actually have to work a lot on data as well.
Okay, at least for this industry, it is not entirely e-commerce based. So I would say the reliance on data is still there, just that I personally, in my opinion, it is not as much as, So like say for example, if you're an e-commerce based company, most likely even your sales, everything, it's all online, and those data you have to rely on more as compared to non-e-commerce platforms. Your data is separated and you need to piece them together and figure out something.
Yeah. Actually, you raise a very good point, because our industry, they don't deal directly with digital goods.
Welcome back, everyone. And we have our top four. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Top four.
Top four.
Top
We
four
have
and,
some great matchups coming up. Sackmaster versus Art. That is the one we will be watching. So the Luard versus the Steam Maiden. And then the other side, we have the Night Rose versus Steam Maiden. And, we could either have a Steam Maiden finals, or we could have, a non-Steam Maiden finals. Look at that. There it is. There it is.
Right there.
That's right. the one lone North American player versus the AO region.
Yep.
Should be very cool to see. Right,
Yep. Sackmaster is definitely be like it is me against the AO region right now. Not exactly the world. That was months ago, but right now we are in the AO region right now. So we're gonna be seeing Sackmaster against Art right now. So this is gonna be a very, very interesting matchup that we see over here. So, and of course, Sackmaster is no stranger to topping in Vanguard right here. So because in BCS Duluth and BSF Duluth for V Premium, he made it to second place. So, and now with him being top 4, he actually might be able to, is this his year? Does he finally get first place this year?
Let's see it.
I think it should be. We haven't seen a Luan at all, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I don't think
seen
so.
Luan, so.
All right, well, it's going to be exciting. I'm hyped to see how things are going to go down here. And, for Luard especially, it's a deck that, I think a lot of people are pretty happy with its meta position. It's considered to be relatively strong in the current format. And of course, it's like basically got back some of its tools from the last Bureau, if I'm not mistaken. So at this point, it's looking pretty good. And looks like we are going to see Art going first, too.
Yeah, and does always got the Ildona. And Ildona basically just makes everything work. Shows off the grade 1s. Shows off the Ildonas, which are grade 3s, but are grade 1s in the deck. So now, Art can basically get anything that is grade 2 or higher. And do we see, is that I don't think there is that much. Is that a Leofel?
Yeah, I don't really see too many targets in here.
Yeah.
Luad's a good target. Okay, so Leofal, there we go. I think he's ready to go. So
Yep.
you pick between the Leofal or the Luad. Whichever one you don't have. He did take a bit long on that decision, so maybe he's missing both, but hopefully not.
Ooh. That would be a bit complicated, but let's take a look.
And riding the Lul, so it's like a 5k base right now. Kind of a juicy target to be attacked on, but we'll see what happens on Sack Master's side. Wondering if Art has any more ill donors. He does run 4. We saw 2 in the deck, but I think that's just the turn end. But off to a great start already. But we've got Sack Master here riding the Ilul. One of the best starts you can have as a Gear Chronicle player. Binding that Uluru and then drawing 2 cards. Your game plan is getting better and better. So lots of value.
Yes, exactly. So let's see now for Sackmaster, of course. Gets the Gear Cat, gonna get the search. The usual setup steps are gonna be happening here as we are used to. Gear Cat gonna find the grade 3 for us, and Sackmaster, unlike the other Steam Maiden players, is gonna be putting that Bind Zone to the bottom of the field, it seems. Another Gear Cat for more searching.
Wow.
You love to see it.
Grabs the Uluru and can technically just move up the Geek. Oh,
He's passing.
Pass.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's passing the turn. So just not giving any damage to Luad. So just so that he can't get the ball rolling. Also, once he rises up to Leofal, counterblast 1, then search for 1 grade 1, open Regard Circle. Yeah, he wants to deny that.
I know a lot of players, when they see a Leofal, they're like, okay, let's not deal damage. I can damage deny you. But how long is Sackmaster gonna damage deny? I wonder. A crit comes out for Art. Very cool. Draw trigger, though. That is very significant. PGs going to the damage zone means 1 PG in deck and probably 1 PG in hand. And you will need those PGs the longer this game gets, because that will be the only way you'll be able to stop the big multi-attacks from Luad's side. A great opening, though, on Sackmaster, able to get an Enterana going and possibly making a tri-column happening if he can. If he can commit another card down. And with the triple Gear Cat in the back, everything is just going to be hitting for very, very nice numbers.
You were saying earlier, so would that damage deny actually cost him? So as you can see, he can more than make it up for it. So that double call of the Gear Cat last turn as well. Now Entanara calling another Gear Cat. He's going to look for another Steam Maiden to add into the hand too as well. He's going to get the ball rolling right here, right now. So.
And going for the shuffle.
Got here.
If an Enterana it comes out right now, I think that's pretty perfect. And the Gear Cat check gets the Elul. So Elul doing some setting up for the next turn. And then is there any communal?
Oh, it's a big turn too.
It's a big turn too. So Nabu coming down to right here, right now. Entanara now coming in with the first attack of this turn.
Nabu just as good. And then the Enterana play, able to get the top 2. Can buy the Nabu. I think
He's going to buy the Nabu here.
I think the last one was a Reinnovate. So Reinnovate
Yes.
is absolutely insane here. 20k attack here. Everything is hitting at least for 20k. So very annoying. Uluru comes out. 1 damage again. So gets a draw. And it's not bad. And then this should just be a 5k guard. Because of Nabu's guard restrict, we'll be forcing out at least a trigger or a quick shield. But there's no quick shield. So it has to be like a trigger. Tempted to just like... no guard, but you can't be at 3 damage this early against a Steam Maiden.
Nah, you want to mitigate damage as much as possible. So, but that also does take cuts away.
Oh.
Going down up to 3 right now. So Nabu going in with the soul, draw 1. Turn passes over right now, I believe, unless there's another play here.
Hand size looking very healthy on Sackmaster's side, but
Yeah.
if Art has the setup, Art can just technically go for an all-in play here. The Leofal not being used is kind of annoying, right? Because it means 1 less card on the field. But if Art can just make like a field here with by putting in also the Ildona into Soul and then also getting a Morfessa into play, can just do like multi-attacks immediately while his opponent's on grade 2. And could just end the game if you're not careful.
There it is. There's Leofall coming down. Yep. So it's going to get to search. Most likely the Karen, just empty out the grade 1 from the Soul and set up that free superior right cost for Luard. Let's take a look. We're going to just mill through the deck real quick. Find the Karen here. And of course,
the Charon. Yep.
Just going to confirm the hand real quick and try to confirm if what other targets he'll be searching later this turn.
The deck hasn't been let go yet as well, so he still has the option to swap with something else as well, but I think he might be committed to the Charon right now. Just being able to get their account charge back. But the most important thing is actually that soul blasting as well, so he actually can soul blast the grade 1 from his soul just to add more for their ritual cost.
Yeah, and sure, if you don't know what to get, Charon's a great target. Refunded cost becomes 11k by itself. So just hits numbers. A bat comes down from hand. Gonna probably use the Ward's effect now to just pop the 2 grade 1s out.
Yeah.
And just draw a card and can retire one of those cats. Which is
that's the back row you want to be hitting. So the triple cat formation is definitely not something that's going to be easy to guard, especially when you have 3 damage. You're looking at a relatively lethal turn coming up next on turn 3. So in Art's best interest here, you want to try and control the board as much as possible, but it's also going to, just as you said, potential to try and close out the game. There is a pretty big hand on Sackmaster's side, but how much of that hand is big quality? There's some grade 3s in there and whatnot. So let's see here. I think now trying to use Luard's skill, trying to see what grade 1s are going to go back, or what normal units are going to go back to the deck.
I'm probably going to put back the Charon at least, right? So
Charon.
And then can call it like a painter, and then the painter can put in the Ilduna. But having the Leofall there is kind of annoying because like a grade 2 doesn't benefit from the effects of getting criticals. So there'll be probably like 1 column that can benefit. Not able to make a full field as well here for the aggressive play. So I feel like it's going to just be a very, very... or painter comes down just naturally from the hand.
Yep.
Going to prioritize the bat, it looks like. And then going to put back the Karen and the last couple of Lulz.
Yep, there he goes right there. So, he's putting back the Charon and the other grade 1 in there and just going straight into Drag Driver Luard. Getting the force marker down on that side too as well.
Going for a double force. So this is going to be a Morfessa coming down.
Yeah, that's the key right there, right, Kai?
Yeah, but you need a full field for that Morfessa. Full field of grade 1s actually. So you're gonna have to replace that Leofall somehow, and can actually go for something like calling it out an owl and just counterblast when drawing a card, but actually going for the bat.
Ooh, bat on the board.
Yep.
What will it do?
The bat can actually get the other bat out from the soul. Actually, he can call points back to the soul, so he will have his original grade 1s so to fulfill for Morfessa.
Oh yeah, so very, very cool play.
Low efforts setup is what we're going for here, and I think it's good. I mean, you get to save cards in hand if you're really trying to survive the Steam Mid push next turn. So, in the interest of making it to the next turn that will be bringing out lethal, it's a pretty good play as well. We usually just see the bat as like the big multi-attack sort of like lethal play.
Yep.
But here, it's actually being used for just building board space.
Okay, so we have a big push coming right now. We have the full field already, and this is something you can see from a lot of the Shadow Paladin players right now. If a crit comes out, that's huge. Unfortunately not. So it's the maths is a bit awkward now. It's like can push to 5, but you're just gonna do it anyway. Your opponent's at 2. Gear Chronicle, especially Steam Maiden, or just mainly Steam Maiden, they run a lot of Ulurus. So that means less Heal Guardians and less ways to kind of deal with this. But I feel like Sackmaster should be able to live. You can take one of these Morfessa attacks and then, probably just hard guard the last attack. So I think he should be fine.
It's going to go unboosted.
Yeah, and then it can kind of capitalize on the fact that Art doesn't have a great hand and there's no deck cramps. There's basically nothing in the drop zone except for the ill donor. So the ill donor technically can be called, and that can actually refund some cards back to hand, which is very, very nice. But yeah, we'll have to see what kind of play is going on. If he just doesn't guards this one is the key one, I think.
All right.
And then the Morpheus comes out, and then calls the Ildona, and then a lot of people might not realize, but Ildona has like a CB1 play as well, so can technically retire and draw some cards.
Yeah, he does also, which is going to be very crucial also to defend against the Steam Maiden turn as he goes into it. So yeah.
Yep, especially when you consider how small the hand is. All right.
Want to double check that effect because not many you don't use it that often. But this is
you often forget about the fact that it's like there is more use to Ildona being a grade 1 in drop beyond just putting it in the soul.
Yep.
So very interesting play here. Art doesn't have a lot of hand, but still 2 damage to work with, and if he can get a next turn, I think he'll be in a good spot to maybe close out the game. This re-innovator is going to kind of just change things. Going to shake up the board a bit.
That's very big. Get the double bind into the top check. Let's see what will Sackmaster find. Will stay true to his name and be able to find some good parts. Oh, the crit sentinels don't look that good.
You're right. He's living up to that Sackmaster name right there. 2 criticals. The choice between 2 criticals as well as the what was that? The Alo, I think. Or was it?
I think it was Elul indeed, but let's see.
Yeah.
What is going to be the case here? Yep. They're still debating on it. Still doesn't want to commit to anything.
Yeah.
Can be a hard choice at times.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there we go. So Elo on the side right there from the call out from Renovate Wing Dragon, as well as unfortunately having to call out that critical trigger to the back. But otherwise, Sackmaster, I don't think he's at a loss here. I think he still has a lot more that he could do this turn still also.
Yeah, and you have to remember Art's hand isn't that great. It's 8 cards, I think. So
8 cards also. I'm counting 8 cards.
But that Uluru on that side is a bit awkward. It's like like a 10k. Can attack into the walls, I think.
Yeah, I can only attack into the Loires on the side there as well. But Ilu gonna be the first attack here, and
it's not great. So this can naturally show you the 0 can go into the 1 if the 1's there, and then the 2 and the 3.
Awkward spot. It's definitely an awkward spot. So yeah,
it definitely tones down the lethality of this.
For sure. And swing of the Lulu here, of course, is going to get basically targeted onto that force marker to recur it for the extra power. Looks like it's swinging into the rear as well.
I mean, no other place that he could go, honestly speaking.
Yeah.
So. But
do what you can do.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you swing there, because like if there was a deck cramps on the board, you'd be like, that's at least I got rid of some value. But there's not even a deck cramps there anymore, so it's
it's not even just a.
Ilo coming in right now with the attack from the force marker, so there's 18k coming in right now. I'm not sure if I spotted a Alo in the bind zone, but if it does an Alo bind zone, this engine is not gonna stop. This steam engine is not gonna stop.
Look, let's put it this way: if there is no Alo in the bind zone, Sackmaster's in a world of trouble.
That is true.
But there you go. There's Alo right there.
We'll buy the Elul to kind of allow it to go into the Elul next, and. Life is okay.
It's okay.
It's not the worst, but it's still all right at the moment.
It says check PG from Art side. Drive check, no trigger, critical trigger.
Critical's pretty good.
Critical's very, very good. So the Halo is going to be hitting much more harder than it should be, along with the boost with the Gear Cat 2 as well. I think we're counting in the bind zone. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's plus 8k too. So this is 60k booster with Alo having 20k, so it's 30. So it's like 46 with double critical. This is lethal too as well.
Plus like 9k because it bound a grade 3, right?
Yeah. You're right.
29, 39. Yeah, plus 16, like 55.
55.
Not bad at all. You're basically telling your opponent, all right, let's see those PGs. Otherwise, it's going to be GGs.
Yep.
And Art is holding that hand in a very face-down fashion. Is there a PG? Or is that a whole hand going away? He just has to guard this because that last attack will not be swinging with a crit. Here's something.
Yep, there we
hard
go,
guard
on guard.
with 315Ks. And this will be Sackmaster's choice now. Do you want to extend one more swing just to push to 5? You do put yourself out of heal range though. So it is that decision to be made.
There is some consideration here where if you push one more damage, it allows Art to just naturally go into Driver into Morfessa for 2 CB play. But of course, you know, where if you're Luard, you know, right? You just go into Charon and that still works. But it looks like Sackmaster just going into swing into the Eldona. Actually, not that impactful. The Eldona kind of just sits on the board right now and doesn't really
you sort of have to
anything.
clear it off because it's not an original grade 1 for your Morfessa turn either. So
like here's the thing: you're gonna stride, well, fake stride, and kind of just replace it anyway.
Yep.
So it's not really that impactful. So I just feel like it's.
But
There was nothing else to go for, right?
Nothing else to go for. So Sackmaster actually looking to damage deny here. So he does want to give that second counter blast to Art, so that he can perform more with Morfessa and with Drag Driver Luard too as well.
Yes, Art probably. I think Art runs like 3 Charons, so it should just be able to. The either is one left in the deck, or he just puts one back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Just
does
the
run
hand
3.
size. Yeah, just the hand size ain't that great. And then Driver should come out. One of the callers should be Karen, Morfessa, and then since we put back the swirls, it's like probably call that out just to try and close the game here because I don't think farming is gonna be enough. And then maybe a painter.
I think I was gonna say painter. I feel like you really need to because now you have both of your bats in the drop, so you definitely need to get them back into rotation somehow. It's gonna be the double painter in order to bring both back into rotation. And then the swells here. Double swells. Oh, okay. We're going to need a Morfessa somewhere along the line to make sure. But he only runs 2 Morfessas, and I'm not sure if one of them flew into the damage or not.
I think I might have spot 1 or 2, but I can't be certain too.
You put one Morfessa back to deck, so maybe this is a 1 in hand.
Yeah, perhaps he might have souls. And then if he does manage to get a painter out too as well, so if he combines that with Karan too as well, so he could just get he just could get the bat in, and after that and then Soul Blast with Karan too as well, just to get the counter charge back. The counter charge I think is the most important thing over here. So we might actually be seeing that actually happening right now.
Driver comes out of the soul. Karen gonna counter charge. Now the painter needs to do its work. Build up that soul a little bit.
Yep.
Can overcall one of the painters, so don't forget to. Or did they already use the painter that they called from the Luard?
The one painter was there already.
One painter was there. Need to put the other one. They need to use the other one.
Yeah, this is the other one that's actually in play right now.
Oh, did Art mess up his sequencing?
Yeah, so he basically overcalled the Karen a bit too early. So he basically, by calling the Karen, you sort of say, I'm skipping all the on-place effects that aren't Karen, which I just resolved. So therefore the bat will not be happening. I mean, that being said, even if like he put the 1 bat in the soul, you still only have 1 bat. So 1 bat in soul does not necessarily, I mean, it would be the setup. So it's like pretty unfortunate. You're actually going from your
5 attacks to 4 attacks.
Yeah, you're going to 4 attacks. They're still huge, but it's understandable, right? This is the top 4. You are playing for a chance to get the prize cards, and the person that loses will have to fight for 3rd.
Like this.
Can't be sloppy. But one thing that we need to point out here too as well is that with Drag Driver Luard being on the Vanguard circle, not only does he get plus 25k, but all the original crits are all plus 2 right now. So every attack here is actually lethal, which means that Sackmaster must guard everything, otherwise he will lose this game.
Except the Vanguard. So a lot of players just take the Vanguard, hoping no crits
and
come
pray.
out. But this definitely is a final turn from Art. The hand size is not great. There's no deck cramps on the field.
I mean, he was going for a final turn, but just like one of the painters being skipped over. I mean, it is unfortunate, but this is the highest level event possible outside of Worlds, basically. So you definitely need to be up on your plays. So let's see here. I mean, some of these players have been playing multiple BROs throughout the day, so that exhaustion can definitely be settling in a little bit.
So yeah, right now
just counting the guard.
Yeah, doesn't seem to have a lot, does he? Or am I just missing some cards? Nope.
He's
taking it.
Has to take it. First check is nothing. Second check is going to be
Nothing.
no heal. Art is going to win the top 4 showdown over Sackmaster and take it with Luard to the finals. All right, so even without the bet, manages to make it through, and I'm sure that slight little, skipping of sequencing is definitely going to remain in their mind going into finals there as well, to make sure that they can continue executing just as well to win the entire event in the finals as well.
In a way, never punished, so this time got the win. We'll remember for the finals to be a bit more careful, but also just shows the power of Luard, right? Is that, if you don't have PGs, how are you going to guard these columns? That Nightmare Painter was swinging for 40k by itself, then plus a boost was like 48. I'm not sure if he used the carrots to be like 51. That's a lot of cards, right? Vanguard column swing like at least 43 usually, depending on what's boosting it. But I think they had a painter in the back, but to use it, so it doesn't matter. It's still a big number, right? But then the last line, that thing swing by itself is like 60k. So we're not even counting the triggers. That's just a lot of damage. So if you don't have PGs, you just can't guard this stuff. Even by just drawing a lot of cards, you still need a lot of guard, and sometimes you just don't have the maths to be able to guard.
Could have said it better myself, man.
100%. So that is our first finalist has been confirmed. I want to quickly check. I think that we do not have. Looks like we do have our finals already decided for us. Anthony Sean Chua continues the run and takes down Techno Eagle in the top 4. Now that is impressive, and it's going to be Art versus Sean Chua in the finals here. Now this is going to be a definite AO showdown, so that's going to be very exciting.
That's right. And we have that Luard versus Steam Maiden matchup again. Art will be very seasoned against the Steam Maiden meta, I think. It is the deck to beat. Well, Anthony, of course, you have to know this matchup too. So, I think it'll be very interesting to see who is able to kind of take it in the finals and win, right? Win the ultimate Chrono Jet prize.
Yes, the Hot Stamp Bushiroad Rumble Online Chrono Jet prize. Both players will definitely be walking away, but who walks away with the playset?
All right.
It's going to be very exciting to see who will succeed in this finals. It's going to be an intense one, and you do not want to miss it. But first, while the players do get set up and we prepare for our final showdown here at BRO 2023 AOV Premium, we're going to go for a short break. So please do enjoy. Grab yourself a drink, grab some snacks, because it's going to be an intense finals, and you do not want to miss it.
Cardfight Vanguard. Something is trying to cross over to this side. Chrono Drag, huh? How did it get here? Chrono Jet Dragon? Are G units back too? Special Series Stride deck set Chrono Jet. Bushiroad.
Weiss Schwarz. A romantic battle of the brains unfolds again on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Booster Pack Kaguya-sama Love is War. Now on sale. Bushiroad.
Cardfight Vanguard. The Glitters have obtained great strength in response to each of their feelings. These heroes are back too. Booster Pack Minerva Rising. Bushiroad.
Who is this guy and why are we interviewing an intern? We don't have time for this. Let's get it over and done with, alright?
Oh, are we ready to go? Okay. Hey guys, and welcome to a very special episode of Coffee with Bushiroad. My name is Matt. I'm the TCG marketing manager for Bushiroad International. You may already know me as a Bushimat or the intern that posts a couple of memes on the Cardfight Vanguard Twitter account. So anyway,
Am I going to get fired?
this is going to be a bit of a special episode of Coffee with Bushiroad. Instead of having a host with me today, as you can see, I asked you guys to send me questions that I should be answering on camera, which is, I think, a mistake, but we're going to roll with it. First question is, how did you come to be known as the Bushiroad's intern? It all started with a post that I put on the Vanguard Twitter that was like, I think it was the 4 cards that defined you, something like that. And I basically put in the effort to like reply everybody. I think people didn't expect the level of replies that they were getting, like the kind of jokes, or I guess maybe like the kind of like responses that they were getting were kind of unexpected from like the Vanguard Twitter account, and it kind of blew up from there. And now I got approval to have like my own account, and that has like 1,700 followers now. So thank you guys for that. And yeah, that's how that's my origin story. Why did I start working in Bushiroad? Honestly, it was because I love card games. And people tell you, oh, don't stop playing games because it's not gonna get you anywhere. Well, guess what? Guess what, mom? Alright, so what is your favorite deck in Vanguard and Weiss Schwarz? Vanguard, probably like my Revenger deck. That's like one of the decks I really played with a lot back then, and I still have the deck. I really, really love it. So yeah, probably the Revenger deck. For Weiss Schwarz, let's see, maybe Goblin Slayer.
I have a question. What do you do to become so tall? But it's not because I'm jealous. I'm just asking for a friend.
Genes, I guess.
Like, do you like have special supplements? Like, do you drink a lot of milk when you were a kid?
It's part of the. Oh, go ahead and answer this. Okay. Well, I not really. No, I guess I just lucky. I didn't have to do anything special. But anyway, yeah. So I was saying, Goblin Slayer for Weiss Schwarz. Yeah, again because I played the deck a lot, and I really enjoy the mechanics of the deck.
Do you like play basketball a lot?
No, and that's kind of, yeah, I got the question a lot, but yeah, I know.
So like skipping ropes then?
I did skip a little bit when I was younger, but I was really pretty tall for my age when I was doing that. Is this really part of the? I don't see this in the list though. Do I have?
Yeah, it's part of the version.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay. Sure. What is the best part about working in Bushiroad? Wow, best part. I mean, there are a couple of things that really are pretty amazing. Like getting to travel and meeting everybody. I think that's one of the biggest joys that I have. Being able to see people enjoy the game like around the world. It's quite amazing. Another thing is, of course, I think you guys already know because I've been doing this a lot. We get to get like a couple of cards sometimes, because we get like samples and stuff like that, and then we have something that's called a complete set, which is basically a single copy of every card.
This is it, the final showdown between our players. You are watching BRO 2023 for the AO region for the V Premium format, and we are once again your casters, myself, Kai, and the captain. How are we feeling going into our final match, the first finals of the year for English? Vanguard here for BRO. Kai, what is your feeling going into finals?
I like seeing Luan. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, it's good to see Luan in the finals. It's got a bit of a mountain to climb though, because the person he is playing against is also a very seasoned player, playing one of the best decks in the format as well. So I think it'll be interesting to see if Art can take it home, or will Mr. Sean Shaw just take it home. Well, I guess take it home is you're already home. But
He's already home.
He's already home, man. So just take it, right? Just take it.
That's right.
Captain, hey. What do you think of this matchup?
Well, this matchup is definitely something that I am very, very psyched to see right now. So, we saw the last game, Luan. So I've just been turned into a believer for Luad in V Premium right now, but he is going up against the Tried True Steam Maidens, also played by actually Sean Chua, who we've seen in earlier this stream as well. Just see how he does with his teammate as well. We have seen these two players in action right now. Let's just see how they go head to head as well.
That is right, and of course, this is going to be the Philippines matchup. So of course, for Sean, technically there was like multiple times he could have run into another Filipino player. If Losef had won the top 8, that would have been another Filipino matchup. But we can see their journeys throughout the day as well. So for Art, had to beat King Udon in top 8. Had to beat Sackmaster in top 4 to make it all the way to finals. And for Sean Chua, had to face Cardfighter with the Jewel Knights and win. And then go up against Techno Eagle in the top 4. And then finally make it all the way to the finals now. And we will see who will be the winner. Both players will be walking home, or well, staying home, I suppose, with the ChronoJet prize cards no matter what. But it's a question of who will get the playset and who's going to get to have the 3 copies here between the 2 winners. And then, of course, or the 2 copies rather. And then, of course, we're going to have to see on the other side, there is also the 3rd place playoffs being played out as well to determine who will win one of the prize cards as well on that side. So it's going to be very interesting to see who is going to walk away with a prize card and who's going to have to continue to running the gauntlet. But let's get into it. Luard versus Steam Maidens. It is kind of...
Ooh, we have Art starting first. That is very important. Opening the Ildona. And, revealing the ones already. There's some Luards that he can get. And if there's a 2 as well, just make his life very simple. Just grabbing the Luard straight up.
Yep.
Hopefully Art has the 2. Hopefully Art has a Leof already. So
I mean, Leof was in that selection, so if he didn't choose it, right?
Well, then he should be good to go. Yeah. One thing to notice is that the deck is running only 6 grade 2s. It's a bit greedy there, but if you're playing in one of those formats where you got decks like Steam and players like Sean, you need to find the double Ildona coming up.
Alright, shows the grade 1s are already there, and now we'll check the another remaining 5. We do see a Leofall in there if necessary.
I think that's probably one of the few cards just grabs the other Luad.
Just grab the other Luad.
He has Leofall in hand.
Yeah, for sure.
That choice twice now.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if you get like double Leofall, then if your opponent's not careful, you can.
This is a finals, dude. If my opponent's not careful, I'm gonna scream.
I mean, things happen, right? Things happen. You're on a 5K base. It's tempting, all right?
Well, let's see if Sean falls for the temptation, but I'm sure that this will not be the case. Sean, of course, a seasoned veteran as well. With that Worlds playmat, I think the story is foretold. The Worlds playmat definitely looks very nice now, seeing it on these broadcasts too.
Yeah.
It's got that nice minimal design, and it's like, you always know, it's like, oh, this player went to Worlds. Like, just from seeing it and how it looks, it doesn't necessarily clash too much with the way that the other playmats look, so it definitely has its own style to it.
Its own charm
here. Right. Get that extra draw going. And the Gear Cat, of course, with the search in order to find more targets.
Yeah.
All right.
Ilul, such a good starter with Ilul.
Yeah. 100% a good starter from there. So the Gear Cat right now, we can't see what's in Sean's top 3 right now. He's debating really, really hard right now. So which means that it's not as simple of a choice but
it's a pass.
It's a pass actually. So again, once more, if you know that your opponent is playing Luad, absolutely 100%. Do not give him that one counterblast to get his stuff started.
If your opponent showed 2 Leofals and didn't take them, don't give them a secret.
Yeah, I wonder what that means. Well, we move on back to Sean's turn here. Going to be the turn 2. And of course, we are going to see the Antrana here with the search for the Gear Cat, which will, of course, plus even more and manage to generate a lot of cards. But we see, even when you generate this many cards, sometimes you just fail to guard against Luard. It can still be a tough ask. So let's take a look and see where this will lead Sean. How far will you push on this turn 2?
Gear Cat grabs the Alol. And what is a final card going to be slammed down on the side? And Nabu, so this is a pretty
Nabu.
nice setup.
Going
10k
hard.
swing in.
Yep, going in hard right now. So just rushing down, trying to park Art at 3 damage as well, which we have mentioned before. So it's quite dangerous to be at when you fight against Steam Maidens over here. So we'll just see whether if Art is able to stave off the 3 damage, or is he going to take it.
Going for a no guard. Critical comes out. 2 damage comes in. I feel like Art kind of just wants to take a bit of damage so he can have a lot of things to work with next turn in order to just get the fact that he has 2 Ildonas in the drop zone that he might be able to capitalize on. But some of these attacks are now going to be a bit annoying to guard.
Agreed on that. So there's no defensive triggers on Art side too as well. So everything here is going to be much more, difficult to Art. But he does have the Heal Guardian right there. So adding 10k obviously to Leofal. So it becomes a 20k guard. So that Nabu might not be able to hit from there. So just straight up, just straight up go through motions, I should say.
Yeah, and then Nabu here is a bit annoying to guard. Just going to take this again.
Yeah.
So Nabu putting in a lot of work. So we see a Charon and a Drag Driver get put to damage, which is a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying. There's some key cards that you want.
That being said, I feel like I've seen this scenario before, right? Lure player getting pushed to 3 damage on their first grade 3 turn, goes into the lure, gets the force marker, and of course it is now time to start developing a bit of a board. This is probably where you would want that second Leofal to call out the Karen immediately. So let's see if he has another one in hand, or if that was just the one. Did Art have the foresight? Well, looks like we're gonna just immediately go in.
Puts back driver. 2 of the Ildona, so I don't think we're going to see any Ildona plays here. And then now getting a double force there.
Yep. Getting the double force over there right now and just searching out for a great one to actually call out as well.
Yeah, and what would you call it? There's like no grade 1s in the drop zone, which is
so he would
good.
Yeah, you can only get you only can get the 1 called as well. So, but this is also another way which they can actually get Charon out too as well. But no, I think he's opting for the Abyssal Hour instead.
Oh, double
Owl.
Abyssal?
But there's not enough CB for it, right?
Yeah, there's not enough CB for it as well. So, but of course, the cost can be paid with
it should be Carrot Abyssal.
Yeah. I think it's not committed them just yet. Is still thinking about it. I think might have thought they're going second and thought, I can just double Soul Blast, but nope. We're gonna have to go through the motions a bit differently here.
Correct.
I'm gonna come down, so that's gonna put one of the grade 1s into the drop. But we are definitely missing some of the key members in action. Ooh, it's the Decram here.
The cramps, yeah.
Or that intercept.
It's just one of those. It's one of those things, right? It's like stream nerves, A lot of these players might not have been playing on streams very long. And although this is still a very relaxed environment, it's still being streamed to quite a bunch of people. So you have those nerves. It is the finals as well. So a lot of your moves has to count a lot. So yeah, if you're not used to it, it can. You have to think very carefully. Right? You got that extra pressure added on. But this should be an okay swing, right? You can call the Charon to one side and the Crimps on the double force if you want. That makes numbers that still hits. I think just doing the cut. So 2 to the bottom. Yeah.
Alright, well.
Alright,
here come the units. This time I'm gonna first resolve that Karen. And the Decram coming down as well. And I'm wondering what's remaining in that hand to use this remaining CB, because the push has to be pretty strong for it to count. Decram surprisingly not behind the Vanguard. That's usually where we see it at.
I guess he does want to have it up, just in case later on, so they can still take advantage of the intercept as well. These are after all 10k intercepts considerably.
Yeah, so I think maybe this is as good as it gets. We have a 19k column, and then Vanguard swing is around 28, and then the Lulz is only 25. But your opponent's at grade 2, so they all hit kind of numbers. 1 damage comes in, trigger comes out. So
that's big,
very big.
But you can hit it to the Enterana on the Charon column, which is not too bad. And then your last one is still hitting the Vanguard.
Yep, so that gets taken. And now it's a question for Art. You gonna keep pushing Or are you gonna pass? And looks like the attack will be declared, pushing in for another potential damage here to give Sean a little bit more ability to extend the combos and find lethal. Although I think it's still quite early in the setup for Steamidins to take it just yet, but it's gonna be tough. I mean, the hand quality for Art does not look particularly high, so gonna just get that force marker at the end phase and pass back to Sean. And now it's that turn 3. It's time to get revving up and make those gears turn as we see that world force marker come on down, as well as that beautiful winner's Elul also enter the field.
Wing Dragon now happening, just getting 2 cards into the bind from the field, and look at the top 3 and choosing 1 to add into the hand. So,
oh, crit again.
Crit again.
We've seen this before.
The Uluru coming down. Uluru is still not too bad as well. And another Uluru going in, so he's lost 3 triggers, but it's not too bad because one of them at least is Uluru on the field as well, so he can still get a lot of the ball rolling on his side.
That being said, he already had one set up in the bind zone, so it's like, that's 3 heals out of your deck.
Yep.
So, gotta be careful with your damage this game. And let's see, gonna start off with the Elul and going in with a grade 1 18k swing. The Gear Cat will remain chilling there. Intercept with the Karen, pretty easy guard here.
Yep.
No questions asked. I'm gonna
they
tag
can go to Nabu
the
here.
Nabu.
Which is very nice. Because now you open that slot up for an Uluru to go into there after it attacks, and this also pokes out. Tries and pokes out, but you have when you're large, you just have the Decrums just to give intercept to your grade 1s. Have like a nice guard there.
Art showing some deck presence here, some deck wisdom too as well. So understanding what the Steam minutes are all about. So the Decrums really is paying his dividends right here, helping him to guard off these first 2 attacks from Sean.
Yep. So this is a 20k swing, I believe, plus 7 on the Gear Cat. Will make the 13k column reach 20. 10k shield gonna be required for Art. How will it be challenged? Gonna just drop that swells there, and we're gonna see that tag into the Elul, and of course get the counter charge from Elul's effect as well. So the motions are proceeding. Another 18k swing. The 10k shields are going to continue to be eaten up. Luckily for Art, he did check a bunch of 10k shields, so in that sense, the attacks are the perfect size. It was like bite-sized swings to soak up, but it's also a question for Art if it's not running out of them yet.
No,
he has to kind of guard here because there's going to be a Vanguard swing, and likely this is going to go into an Interrunner.
Yeah.
So that Interrunner line is going to be pretty big as well, with triggers. So this is probably the weakest line that he can guard here, and maybe has to probably no guards one of the other ones. So yeah, Interrunner coming out.
All right. Now the Vanguard swing to proceed. And will this be taken? Looks like it is. No guard has been declared. First check, nothing. Second check, nothing. Just 1 damage going to come out for Art here. Going to be pushing him to 4. And let's see the damage check. It is going to be the Ildona, which we would have liked to see in the hand earlier, just to ditch and have to put in the soul. But looks like that's not going to be the case. Going to just fly into the damage and maybe even lead to a 5th damage here. Going to hit the crit. But now we have all CB available to Art, and we'll be able to use
a PG. Oh no,
everything.
No, he's got heal guard, so
that's the 4th heal out.
Yep. So no more heals. If Art is aware, there is no more heals out currently right now, and so this is probably his license to get in there right now.
Yeah,
let's see it.
I think what Art needs to drop. Art wants to see a crit on the Vanguard swing, and then be up to multiple 2/2/2, 2 crit attacks. Does Anthony have enough hand though? That's the real question. We're gonna see a Morfessa come out on that triple force, or probably gonna be a quad force. If by the time we stride, puts back the lulls back. Gonna make big columns.
Big columns.
Yep, and
yep.
I think the call is like call a Morfessa. You'll have lulls on that double force side. Is the bat set up? Because Art runs bats. So you need a beta somewhere, right?
But I haven't seen a bat all game just yet. So he could set it up right here, right now. Possibly, but yeah, I haven't seen any bats throughout the entire play up just yet.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit hard to set up the bats, I think, if they're not already out.
They gotta be either in the drop so that you can actually use Nightmare Painter to actually just put it into the soul, so they can actually benefit from the other bat in the soul coming out to a Regard Circle. But if he doesn't have that setup, so that might not be worthwhile to do.
Yeah, I think look, the double lulls, not getting any Abyssal Owls though, so it's like literally no hand. And then a bat. Okay, there's that. So maybe there is a bat already somewhere.
I missed it, yeah.
I don't think there is, so unless it's somewhere in hand or something, but that's not where you want it at.
Yeah, I mean, you could call the bat, then call another bat, and then call a painter on top of that bat.
Mm-hmm.
Because he did go for the split. I feel like when you go for the split, that's when you go, I want to bat this turn, or I'm going to develop into the bat. But because that later development requires hand, right? Because you need to survive, the Steam Maiden turn. If he's not doing that, he's kind of just going all in here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the cut from top. I always like the cut from top for remote play events, as well as here in Japan we still do. Oh, there is a bat, but
there's a bat out also, but I don't think there's a bat in the soul. Because that card that might look like it is the bat should be the Leofall that he rode up to.
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm just wondering, how do you get the other bat?
I don't think you can at this point.
How do you get the other bat? So this is getting in 40k.
40k double critical too as well. So thanks to Drag Driver Luwat's ability popping off.
Yep. And now it's the question of Sean. Can he guard all this? If Art is going for this play, I feel like he could just put the second force marker this turn onto that Morpheus side just to double it, dip more power. Because the lull side is like 28 by itself. Meaning 38 is not bad, but now it's like 48, which it's good. It's good, but if you're trying to push damage here, it's nice to just get like extra force, right? Double dip force all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So here we are gonna see the Karen gonna be countercharging here real quick to remain with that CB face up. We haven't really seen any heals come out from Art's side at all, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do actually see one on this turn.
Yeah, none at all.
Let's take a look at what this drive check will be. What will it bring in this game? What can lead Art to victory? Because right now it feels like Sean just has a bit too much defense to potentially lose at this turn. So let's see how this push will continue.
Yep, looks like he might be deciding to attack with the rear guard instead as well. So I believe that one does get plus 15k when he attacks. So it is the Loalis. So plus 15k.
It just gets 15k.
It just gets 15k, then plus the 2 force markers on that too as well. That's plus a 35k onto an 8k, onto a 5k. So yeah, 48 swing.
Yep. Yeah, it's a big number. I mean, we're saying, it looks like Sean will be able to guard everything, but it's gonna have to take this first one. Gonna get the PG off the top. Into a draw with a defensive power. Not gonna see a second defensive, so 23k Vanguard now. Of course, these swings are still very huge, but we've seen multiple times that sometimes teammates just don't have the defense in hand. And now, especially knowing there's no heals left for Sean either, outside of the one in hand, there's no 20k shield whatsoever in this entire rotation left. So for Sean, we're going to need to see some PGs here and there. And there's only one more swing after this. Going to ditch the quick shield here after dropping that Perfect Garden. Let's see. Lured into a critical trigger. Not the heal that we were kind of hoping to see, but this will make the swing even greater. So it's 11, 21, 51, plus the 20k shield, 71k, 2 crit swing.
Yeah,
that's a lot of power.
That's probably bigger than the Luard was earlier.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely bigger than Luard also. So
Anthony is taking his time.
Yeah.
Oh,
might be hard guarding this. I think he might need to hard guard this also.
So he's at 23 on the Vanguard right now. So it's still 50k shield is a lot. It's like you gotta have 3 15ks. We know there's one in hand.
315 in the Enterana is enough.
Yeah,
that is enough. So we know there's 2 components. We need 2 more 15s in this hand. The hand doesn't look necessarily that huge, so
the fact he's taking so long is like no PG in hand. That's the issue.
Yeah, I think it's a telltale sign that he might not have a PG in hand.
A lot of players they'll no guard the Vanguard because the power lines are on the side with the confirmed crits are just like way too high.
Oh, that's a PG.
Looks like we got baited.
Yeah, we got baited.
Yeah, probably was just basically debating. It's like, all right, this needs to be the next turn. Has to be my win turn. And I mean, it likely is going to be. Sean is basically set up for victory here with the top deck rewrite. Second force marker generated on the side will make these swings extra lethal. To open counterblast will allow for a lot of combo plays. And of course, the Renovate Wing for the field rebuild. Let's see what they find off the top here.
Anything ideal over there, Sean?
I think the most important thing is just charging up its gear cats for even more. And we look at just Nabu is pretty
the guard
good.
restricts.
Yep.
Oh, but could he have called the Karunta to just bottom deck the Decrims?
Ooh, that would shut off 20k shield worth of intercept. That could be big.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, does it matter on the 20k shield? Just gonna do so many attacks anyway, so...
I think when R10 is so small, I think every little bit counts, but let's see. I mean, might want to just dedicate all the CV to pushing as much as possible. And I mean, these gear cats are looking extra swole as well. I think we're looking at 11 in bind right now.
Yes, a lot in bind.
Yep. So they are functionally 19k boosters. Plus one, you get one more card in bind, and you are looking at 20k boost on the back there, which is only going to get more and more lethal and annoying for Art to deal with. This is the round 5 of Swiss rematch from yesterday, and we have to see how this is going to go down. 15k shield comes out for the first swing. This is the smallest of the attacks, just 25k, but it will continue on. 3 CB now available. Elul will now be able to start the tag teams, passing back and forth. Each Steam Maiden baton passing to the other and establishing this link, this chain of attacks that will potentially bring Sean to be the victor, the first BRO 2023 winner of this year's circuit. And let's see how this is going to go. We see the boost coming out. Nabu's effect, of course, going to add another card to bind. We should be at 12 now. Going to see the quick count.
At some point, Art has to take something. I'm not sure he has enough hand to guard it. The Alul and the Elul coming out from the multi attacks are going to be the biggest attacks, as well as the Vanguard column. You probably at least need 2 cards to guard. That hand size is like 4-ish, not much. 6. It looks like 6.
Double intercept. 12 cards in bind. Those gear cats are 20k boosts. This is tremendous amounts of power. I wonder if this will be committed on this swing already, perhaps, just to already push with a big old shield, with a big old boost there, just because it is going to make that magic number compared to boosting a grade 2. Otherwise, you have to keep it until a grade 3 swing, which is already big by default, but going to just swing with a 28 here and ask Art for...
28's already a good number, you know?
It is a good number. You are asking for 2-card guard.
Art is getting that 2-card guard. Prepping that. That's a 15 and a 10. And then popping this out for the Alul, I assume.
Oh, is he considering the Karunta instead? Yeah, he is.
Ooh.
Making use of Karunta's ability. +1, so +1.
Maybe he thinks that it's getting away that. Oh, that's a pretty good play. He sees that he can't, probably finish this. Actually, this just extends. So bottom decks the bat, calls out the Alul on the other side, and because Art is on 5 damage, there's no way he got any damage check. So this Alul is gonna bind like a 3 and hit for 19 by itself, and the Alul will put the 3 onto the Karunta side for that final attack.
And decks are looking mighty thin right now, but that's not really the key factor over here, right? So right now the key factor is this 30k swing onto the Vanguard right now. So with Art's hand also being as low as it is right now, he has to take it,
and that is the Eldona. That is game for Sean.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
that is right. Sean will take it and be our winner, our champion for BRO 2023 in the AO region, taking it down, winning all 4 copies of the Chronojet with Steam Maidens. It feels truly poetic to see that success come through. And of course, a hot run for Sean overall after Worlds and that successful finish. And of course, for Art, of course, a great run as well, getting 2nd place with that Luard that I think a lot of people weren't necessarily expecting, to make it into the finals. Maybe top 8, but not necessarily getting that deep of a run.
Yeah.
Yep. Luard, I watching some of Art's plays really just shows how much you have to push as Luard now. You can't just play the farm game, you have to play aggressively as well against some of the matchups. They're just doing very, very well as well, coming in 2nd, but still Steam Maiden, very strong deck, piloted by a very, very strong player. Any last thoughts there, Captain?
Yeah, I mean, both players really showed what it means to be at the top level also. So even whether you're preparing for Springfest, whether you're preparing for BCS, as long as you are in a competitive environment, you want to play your absolute best also. And I'm very certain that both players have shown what V Premium is all about today.
Yes, 100%. I think that was an incredible grand finals. I'm very happy with the way we could watch, this basically the current V Premium meta in a nutshell. I feel like in this broadcast, we saw a lot of Steam Maidens, which is by far the most popular deck, but we saw Luard, we saw Night Rose, we saw a lot of Anj throughout day 1 especially, and so quite a few decks that are still there. Great Nature as well, barely bubbled in 9th. Bit unfortunate, to see it just almost make it through to the top, but overall it's been an amazing showing, and I think we will try to get our winner Sean here for a winner's interview if possible, although I think we might have to see if we do a quick break just to get all the technical sides sorted out. It takes a little bit to make sure we could have the player ready for the interview, so bear with us as we go for a short break, and you'll get to hear from the champion themselves about how their journey in AO for the V Premium format went down and how they feel after not just having a great start in the World's top 8, but now continuing his run into BRO as well. So we'll be right back after this short break with an interview with our champion.
Cardfight Vanguard. The Glitters have obtained great strength in response to each of their feelings. These heroes are back too. Booster Pack, Minerva Rising, Bushiroad.
Cardfight Vanguard. Something is trying to cross over to this side. Chrono Drag, huh? How did it get here? Chronojet Dragon? Are G units back too? Special Series Stride Deck Set Chronojet. Bushiroad.
Weiss Schwarz. A romantic battle of the brains unfolds again on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Booster Pack Kaguya-sama Love is War. Now on sale. Bushiroad.
Hi Honda.
Hi Julius.
Thank you so much for taking out some time out of your busy schedule to join me in this Coffee with Bushiroad series.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, could you tell me a bit about the work you do in Bushiroad?
Well, I do sales and logistics, but I'm mainly on the logistics side.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you a lot more questions regarding that because I think your work is mainly a lot of people don't see or don't understand what goes on behind the scenes in what makes the games possible.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of logistics and transportation involved. But before that, we're gonna dig right into our pastries and coffee and tea. What would you like?
Coffee, please.
Coffee? Yeah. Coffee for you? Okay,
sure.
Cool. You can smell this. It smells good.
Wow.
Yeah, this smell really wakes you up. Yeah.
Fragrant.
Yeah. Go ahead and help yourself to whichever one that you like.
Alright. Which one we like?
No, you go ahead. No. Yeah, no, I'll pick whatever that's remaining.
Alright, so I'll go for this.
I'm a good host.
You want?
So Huanta, I understand that even before you joined Bushiroad, to work for Bushiroad, I think you played a lot of Bushiroad card games.
Yeah.
What games do you play?
I play mainly Weiss Schwarz, Vanguard, and a little bit of Buddy Fight.
So you actually play our three main titles.
Yeah.
When did you start playing?
For Weiss, I started playing I think somewhere around 2008, 2009 kind of time when it first started out in Japan. Yeah.
Wow, that's like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. And then for Vanguard?
Vanguard, I think I also started when it first came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you actually played Weiss first?
Yeah.
How do you get to know Weiss Schwarz?
So there was kind of like a community get together to learn the game. Like they brought some Weiss products from Japan, so they brought it over to Singapore, and they actually promoted the event, like come down to learn, and they actually sell some of the stuff they got in Japan. So yeah, that's how I got wine of Weiss, and I started learning, and I liked the game.
Which Weiss Schwarz titles are you currently enjoying?
I'm really enjoying the Fujimi Fantasia set right now, especially the deck with 8 standbys. It's very interesting. And also, I really like playing Goblin Slayer, especially the Goblin Slayer deck. The overall card advantage and the abilities is very flavorful. It's gonna be a huge. It has made a huge impact in the game itself, and soon English player can get their hands on the series. It's coming out in English. Yeah, for Goblin Slayer.
Wow, I think players can really look forward to that. Yeah. Do you still remember your very first deck? What title was it?
It was Fate Stain Night Crow deck.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so long ago. Yeah.
And ever since then, you just continued
Yeah.
playing the game. And right now, you are actually working for Bushiroad.
Yeah.
Wow, this is kind of like, it's coming to a full circle.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Vanguard clan?
My favorite clan would be Dark Irregulars.
Oh.
I love the overall theme of the deck, artwork, card abilities. Like soul charging, it thins your deck. So that thinning is very important in card games. You get to draw into more important cards, or you might go the other way. Like it makes everything looks exciting. Yeah, that's about all.
That's your favorite?
Yes.
Ever?
Yeah.
Okay. No, back then when you are playing Bushiroad card games, do you actually think that you would, or maybe you hope that you will be able to work for Bushiroad?
So thinking that I will be working for a company would be no, but hoping that I would is a yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And back then, maybe you thought, maybe it would be great if I can work for Bushiroad one day.
Yeah.
Do you have like a job position in mind, or do you just?
All right, welcome back, everyone, and we are going to be here to hear from our champion today, Sean. So it's going to be an exciting time. Cannot wait to hear. And once again, Sean, congratulations on your win today in V Premium in the AO region. How do you feel?
I feel good about the tournament. This is a very good run.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this whole year has been a really good start for you, right? You had a good showing at Worlds, and now you win in AOV Premium. Tell me how you feel. I mean, as a player, right? You have such a successful start to the year, and just how you've been preparing for these events to find such success.
I've just been practicing with friends, and usually the hard matchups I practice overall. And yeah.
Awesome. And nice. Can I just ask you one more question from my side? When you managed to get that win, when you landed the 6 damage, what was the first feeling? Like, what was the initial emotion when you finally saw it's like, you got it, you are the champion, you're going to get the 4 Chrono Jets for winning the entire event? How did that moment feel for you?
I was very excited to win that, especially that I'm playing Gears and I win with Gears.
Yeah, it's very poetic.
Very, very poetic indeed. So,
all right, then Kai, any questions you want to ask to Anthony?
We noticed a lot of the Filipino players are doing very well this tournament. If you look at the top 8, there's a lot of them just topped. What do you feel about that? You know, you went to Worlds as well. You know, as you kind of know all the differences, you kind of played against different players from different regions. What are your thoughts on, just the global meta versus maybe a more regional meta and the local meta?
For this BRO, I was surprised in Swiss I didn't fight as much maidens as I expected. I only fought one mirror match.
Okay.
But yeah, overall it's very diverse, the meta.
Oh, okay, yeah.
that's good to hear.
Yeah, I think everyone says, you know, V is a very Steam main centric meta, but you know, from your point of view, like there's a lot of other decks that can be played, and I guess I think that's really, really good to hear. Did you do a lot of practice as well?
I practice a lot. Mainly the Ward and Maiden mirror matches.
Okay. And is V your main format? Because you got D and Premium as well. So,
I like to play Premium as well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
Captain?
yeah. So you know, I look at your accolades. So in the tournament scene right here. So you won BCS in Manila, the V Premium Champion over here. 2023, you can add another V Premium Championship too as well with BRO's win over here. I just gotta say, because I remember that actually you did fight against Art in round 5 of Swiss from there. You did say that you practice against Luwak quite a bit. So can you take us through, like, you know, what's the ideas that you have gotten also from fighting off against Luwak?
If I go second, sometimes I damage the knight so he can't use Leafall and plus a lot. And if I go first, I can rush and just end the game faster before he ramps up a lot of markers.
Before it runs out a lot of markers also. Okay, that's an interesting insight from that also. Yeah, and it really has paid off over here as well. So, you know, considering that, you know, you kind of really expertly kind of took care of Luwak, you know, in that final matchup from that also, which is, you know, which is just a sight to behold, I should say. So, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And just before we let you go, are there any shout outs, any thank yous you want to give to anyone that particularly helped out or those close to you?
Shout out to Ryan Manangkil, who helped me practice most of the time, and he's playing in EU top 8 for BRO.
All right.
Okay.
We'll be watching and supporting then. Try to get the win streak for the community, for the group, right?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
I think
Yeah.
good job, Anthony. It's been
job.
great watching you play, and just going through all the great plays. And thank you for sharing your insights with us.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So congratulations one more winning the AO region for Bushiroad Rumble Online 2023. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Claps in the chat,
everyone.
please.
Claps in the chat, please. Claps in the chat.
All right. So that has been your champion. And of course, it's great to hear from the man himself, Anthony Sean Chua, coming through and winning with Steam Maidens. You know, the deck that keeps on giving, the deck that, you know, I will continue to watch all the BROs throughout today. There's going to be top 8 for EU and NA, and I would expect that deck to do very well in all 3 of them. But for Sean, as you can see, the local community coming through, big support, big help in the playtesting. And of course, now going to be the proud owner of 4 Chrono Jets as a Gear Chronicle player as well. So, Kai, how are you feeling after all has been said and done here in the AO region?
Yeah, so we also have some news as well. I think Sack Master won the 3rd place playoff. So, you know, we have our top 3 confirmed. So yeah, I think that's great. We saw some really good games. We saw some masterful Steam Maiden plays, some great Luwak plays as well. And just overall, some great V, right? Some great V. There's been at least a variety of decks that we saw on day 1, and we saw the really good plays on day 2. And it's just been great watching it with everyone. That's everyone in the chat that's also been there, sitting with us and watching some great games. So thanks to you all for being there, and also just thanks to all the players and staff, everyone. Good times. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. So yeah. I mean, for me as well, like. I don't know if you guys noticed too as well, but this is the 3rd Bushiroad Rumble Online that we've done, right? And the first one I came on for Overdress Second one, I came on for premium, and this time I came on for V-premium, so I completed the trifecta right there. So.
The triangle. Triangle's great, right?
Yes. But I don't intend to stop there. So I do hope that going forward from there, there'll be, I hope to continue to be around. And if I'm not around, I definitely will be in the chats for sure. Bushiroad Rumble Online has really, excited me so much also for competitive Vanguard. So something that I haven't been able to find in such a long time. So I've been playing since at the start of the launch of the game, so to speak. And just after like 10 years or so, it's come a long way. But yeah, it's great to just see everybody so passionate about Vanguard, everybody playing at a high level and just seeing some good moments. So I've had such a wonderful weekend, and yeah, not only just to the players, to the people in the chat too as well, but also to the production, to both of you guys too as well. Different Fight, Kai, you guys are phenomenal broadcast partners. So thank you guys so much.
Likewise. Thank you for the kind words. I couldn't ask for better co-commentators as well, and of course the great viewers watching at home and the players participating, as you said. So of course, for us here in AO, that is going to be it. There is still EU and NA to go for the top 8, so make sure you check into those. They are under the other Bushiroad channels that you can find. If you watch Worlds, they will be the same ones. Otherwise, I think if you just scroll down here, you'll also find them too. But otherwise, if you want more BRO action or want to take part yourself in May, there will be the Weiss stage of the event. And then for Vanguard, we'll be back in August for Standard. So there you can see the dates themselves. So make sure to join us for Weiss and Standard. And then, of course, in November, quite far away, we're still in March, it's more than half a year away. We will be there for Premium as well. And this will potentially have some pretty exciting changes for Premium.
Yeah, there could be some exciting changes for Premium, so considering what is in the schedule that's coming out as well. So with the history collection and whatnot. So that's definitely something that I personally have. I think everybody has their eye on, because any sort of refreshes for the premium or V-premium format also will go a long way into changing up what we could see, at Worlds, at BCS, at BSF2 as well. This is an exciting time for Vanguard through and through, right guys?
100%.
Yep, that's right. And every format in Vanguard is going through some really cool stuff. Premium, even the mask stuff that's being revealed for the Standard.
It's been pretty wild, dude. Standard,
looking good.
There's quite a lot to be excited about here in Japan. We just had this release as well, so a lot of really cool things happening for Vanguard right now. It's a good time to be a Vanguard player, so hope all of you watching as well enjoy. If you have a locals today, make sure to try and participate, and if not, then go and watch the remaining BROs as well, or just watch them at locals. Ask your locals to put on the TV. It's time. Get everyone watching BRO and having fun together. But that is going to be it for us today. Thank you so much for tuning in for these 2 days of BRO action. Make sure to check out the other streams later down today as well. But otherwise, we will see you all. Well, Kai will see you in May, and we will see you all in August for the Standard stage. And thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all around.
Cardfight Vanguard. The Glitters have obtained great strength in response to each of their feelings. These heroes are back too. Booster Pack, Minerva Rising, Bushiroad.
Cardfight Vanguard. Something is trying to cross over to this side. Chrono Drag, huh? How did it get here? Chrono Jet Dragon? Are G units back too? Special Series Stride Deck Set Chrono Jet. Bushiroad.
Weiss Schwarz. A romantic battle of the brains unfolds again on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Booster Pack Kaguya-sama Love is War. Now on sale. Bushiroad.
you.